Hey, I'm Ashley Greer. I'm the Break Free Artist. Coming to talk to you lovelies today about the idea of living up to other people's expectations. How many times in our life are we told, well, you gotta live up to your mom and dad's expectations. You gotta live up to your teacher's expectations. You gotta live up to your spouse's expectations, your friend's expectations, your boss's expectations. It ends up feeling like a really big burden, all of these expectations coming in on us all of the time. It's really a pain in the ass. I don't know what other better way to say it. It really ends up being a pain in the ass and a thorn in our side. It's basically like other people, we're forced to walk around town in jeans that are two sizes too small for the rest of our life when we're living inside of other people's expectations. The whole thing is that there's certain things that we want to be able to do for other people. We want to be able to be there for other people. We want to be able to come through on our word. We want to be able to, be there for our family and our loved ones and offer them love and care and tenderness and support. But when it's more about who you are based on other people's expectations, then I think that there's a problem. I myself have gone through life and I have shed so many different layers of these ideas of what people thought I was supposed to be or what people thought I was supposed to manifest in my life. For example, I have my PhD in psychology, and one of the main expectations of having your PhD in psychology is you're going to become a psychologist, right? Pretty basic expectation. But guess what? I'm not a psychologist. I'm not going to be a psychologist. And I don't want to be a psychologist. I want to be a coach. And there's reasons behind that. But for many years, I actually practiced as a psychologist for a number of years after graduating with my PhD. And it wasn't until I really started to pay attention to my body and my spirit that I realized that it just didn't align with who I was and what I wanted out of my life. And the way this looked was I was getting sick constantly. I had in the year and a half before I stopped being a psychologist, I had an intestinal infection that got me out. It got me out of work for two months. It made me leave work for 2 months. I had to have series of diagnostic tests and an endoscopy and a colonoscopy and all of that horrible stuff. I had the walking pneumonia. I had probably 3 or 4 different ear and sinus infections. I just was constantly getting sick. And what was worse was when I would wake up in the morning, when I'd think about going to work, I'd start to get a stomach ache. I'd start to just feel sick and I'd almost feel like I was walking through molasses trying to get myself to go in the morning, oh, I have to go there. There's nothing wrong with being a psychologist. For some people, it really works. But for me, I'm very empathic, and so I ended up taking on a lot of the sort of emotional responsibility for other people, and I just couldn't do it anymore. It wasn't suited for me, and it wasn't suited for who I am. And so it wasn't until I finally found the courage and the spirit and the chutzpah to really leave my career as a psychologist that I started to heal my life. My health just turned right around. I can't tell you, I think I've gotten 1 migraine since I left my career as a psychologist, maybe 2. Otherwise, I haven't gotten sick in almost 2 years. I left my career as a psychologist 2 years ago and I haven't gotten sick. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story is that I honestly think that I kept getting sick because I kept shoving down my own desires to try to live in line with what other people expected of me, what other people expected my life to look like, what other people expected me to do with this degree that I had. And I thought that was the only way to be successful. I thought that was the way that you had to live your life if you choose this path. But the thing is it's all bullshit. Sorry to say, I'm a cursor. I'm going to curse in these videos. It's all bullshit. Nobody said I had to live my life that way. No one said that a PhD in psychology had to lead down this very certain, specific narrow path. No one said that I had to be in such a conservative sort of field, because psychology is actually pretty conservative, and you'll kind of get a feel for this. I'm not very conservative. Anyway, the point being is that until I sort of broke free of the expectations that other people had for the way that my life should look, I wasn't free to fully be myself, to fully express who I was, and furthermore, I wasn't free to really get healthy. And I am so passionate about giving people the opportunity to do the same thing in their life. Now, there have been multiple ways that I've broken free in my life over the past few years, and I'm going to be talking about them throughout these videos. But today, I want you to think about the way that you can break free in your career. What ways are you feeling stifled and shoved down and controlled? What ways are you not feeling as though you can truly express yourself? Maybe it's speaking up in the meeting that you feel like, you're just there as sort of decoration on the wall. Maybe it's you haven't really spoken up for that raise that you've been deserving for so long. Maybe it's that you don't really want to do what you're doing now and you'd rather be a writer or something else. The point is you've got to really follow your own heart when it comes to the way you live your life. You've got to follow your own heart, because otherwise you're going to find yourself at the end of your life wondering why you didn't make choices based upon your own spirit. So it's time to do that. It's time to follow your spirit. And I'm Ashley Greer. I am the Break Free Artist, and I can help you follow your unique spirit, your wonderful, beautiful self, and help you express that gorgeous wildness that you have inside of you, so that you don't have to have these things come out in different ways in your life. You don't have to have these, unexpressed desires pop up in mysterious ways and surprise you, such as getting sick all the time when you're at work. Nobody wants that. Anyway, so if you want to check it out, if you're interested in more info, please come and check me out at ashleygreer.com, or you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Grashable. Thanks so much.